check out this free video and make sure you hit like and subscribe. So the second daughter of Eddie Guerrero, 30-year-old Sherilyn Guerrero, is now training to be a professional wrestler.
With Booker T.
That's right. She's part of the Reality of Wrestling Training School. And I'm a big fan of Booker T. I mean, like...
I'm aware.
Yeah, I think, I understand people that aren't big fans of Booker T. But at the end of the day...
Specifically talking about his commentary. Most people like Booker T.
Most people like Booker T. But I'm talking about his commentary gig. And, I mean, to me, I want to be entertained. Sometimes he can be a little much, okay? But I think that one of the strengths of Booker T is he's playing opposite Vic, which just drives me absolutely crazy with the stuff that he says. And sometimes Booker will be combative for good reasons. Other times he'll be combative just to be combative. But it's never boring. That I can say. And of all of the things that ruin NXT some weeks, it's never Booker T. It's always something else. So I think he's an entertaining commentator. And I think he gets things over. And I also think that, I don't know if he's the main trainer at his school, but he's turned out some very good wrestlers, including Roxanne Perez. She started in his school and went through his school, and she was great. So I think this is a good place to train. She is starting old by wrestling standards at 30. Usually that's a little old to start, but she's going to give it a shot here. Shaul Guerrero, who was her older sister, was signed to WWE 2010 to 2014 and was in Florida Championship Wrestling and NXT, but never made it to the main roster. So we'll see how she does. All the best to her. It's a good place to train, and we'll keep everybody updated here on the show.
At least starting a little bit older. She won't have to be a 15-year vet before she's old enough.
That's
to push.
true. If she's any good, she can go right to the world title. So that is a benefit. That is a benefit. In fact, if she stays there for 10 years, she can go right to the maybe the men's world title for all we know. So we've been talking about this for a while. And granted, nothing is confirmed until it happens. But Tyrus, the former Brodus Clay, was on TMZ's Inside the Ring podcast. He's now a political pundit. And he says 1,000% he believes that Donald Trump is going to be there for John Cena's last match in December. If he says he's going, he's going. That's by no mistake, the show being in Washington, D.C. He might even be in the finish. I highly doubt that. He might hit a binding resolution in the middle of the match. That's not happening. But I definitely think if the president says he's going to be there because as a fan, he is a fan and he loves it. Yeah, for those of you that don't remember, there's a very famous story involving Donald Trump. This was back in 2007, it would have been. It was the famous angle where Vince McMahon got into a limo and the limo exploded. And very shortly thereafter, Donald Trump began making calls to WWE because he was concerned and wanted to make sure that Vince was okay. That is a true story. Vince, of course, was okay because it's fake. And the idea was for Vince McMahon, like he was going to be dead. That was writing his character off the show. He was killed in an exploding limousine, and they were going to go all out. They were going to do a Vince McMahon funeral on Raw, and of course, that was the weekend that Chris Benoit killed his family and himself, and all of that had to be thrown out the window, and Vince ended up returning, and he was a character for years afterwards. But originally, like, that was going to be, and who knows, he might have returned from the dead at some point, but that was the idea of the Vince McMahon exploding limousine. I don't know about the idea of, and this isn't even a political thing with whatever you think about Donald Trump, But I just think in general, I don't think you should have presidents, political figures, etc. at your wrestling shows because it's just going to make half the audience angry, and there's no reason to do it. And whatever you want to say about Vince McMahon, and Vince was a friend of Donald Trump, and Vince did put Donald Trump in the Hall of Fame. Vince did decree when Trump won the presidency the first time that, like, we're not talking about this. It's not going to be part of the show. We're not going to be talking about him in the Hall of Fame. It's just not going to be done. Because, whether he was friends with the guy or not, he knew that you were going to alienate a large portion of your fan base by having the president, pushing him as part of your Hall of Fame and this and that. And this new regime does not feel that way at all.
TKO does not agree with that statement.
No, TKO does not agree with that one bit. So if you end up seeing him all over the shows, well, that's TKO. I don't want to even say they don't care. They're happy about it. So,
do you think Vince will be there?
I have certainly had people rumor. I shouldn't say rumor, that's the wrong word.
Speculate?
I have had people speculate that both Donald Trump and Vince McMahon are going to be at John Cena's final match. And I don't know. I mean, Vince can be there. I mean, he can buy a ticket. I mean, there's a way to get him there. Whether they show him on TV or make a big deal out of it would be something different. But I've certainly had people in WWE who firmly believe that Vince and Donald Trump are both going to be at John Cena's last. Have you grabbed your F4WOnline.com shirt yet? Well, we got a bunch of them. They're up in the store right now. F4WOnline.com/shirts. You can grab your -5 stars shirt, your Dave Meltzer Wrestling Observer shirts, even the brand new After Dark Radio shirt. You love Granny? We have Granny's Gang shirts. Have you ever won a shoot battle royal? Probably not, but you can tell people you did. So check out the store, all of these great shirts and more. It's through Pro Wrestling Tees, F4WOnline.com/shirts. That's F4WOnline.com/shirts.